Yeah, welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 128. In this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start trying to make some money. I've been doing a bunch of work off screen on the home ship on Triton, and that's going really well. The issue is it's currently about 500,000 to launch, and I'd like to get that in. So we are currently too low of money to do that. So I've been using the cormorant a bunch, and so what I'd like to do is I think we'll do some oil trading. Here's a whale coming right up to us, I think. Maybe not. It's the reflection of the iceberg. So I think we'll do some oil trading. And this is going to be extremely time-lapse to the point where I'm going to skip a bunch of it. But what I'll probably do is, let me bring up the map here. I'm hoping the price is populated. So what I want to do here is I want to run some oil. And presently I'm up here off the dock at Tajin, and it's at 25.7. This is over here. That is also, I think, 25.9. So it's cheaper to buy from here. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to buy oil here with the Damen Ta800, and then I will sail that through the ice field with the autopilot, and then all the way down here to the oil sell point here. So let me run some numbers. So I'll bring up. I made a quick little spreadsheet to kind of do this. So we'll go through the prices here. So the sell for. So I should name these. I'll name these later. But this one here is the one we're going to be doing. So the sell price for oil is $2.88. So 2.88. $2.88, and then we're buying it for 25 cents, so 0.257, I think it was. So starting capital is up top, so 349.5. So we won't know what that's going to be until I launch the vessel. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. Let's launch this vessel. I don't have a heater on board, but that's fine. I have my winter coat on. I don't think I have a heater on there. I'll put one on eventually, but I'll put a heater on there. And so we'll launch the T800, and we'll go ahead and I'll take this. Let me place it gently in the water so it's all set to go. All right, so that's in, and then let's grab the spreadsheet again. All right, and so what we'll do here is my starting capital is now, if I bring up 8477. Now let's see where we're at here. Okay, let me bring the spreadsheet back up. 8477. Okay, where am I at? There I am. Okay. And so our starting capital is going to be 80,000, we'll say. So we can afford to buy 27,000 liters. I'm sorry, $27,000 worth. That's going to be about 300,000 liters, making us about 786,000. Okay, so that's going to give us lots and lots of money. If we did the if we did our normal fuel triangle, it's this top one up here. This is going to be oil from there. That is going to make us 187,000. This will get us right where we need to be able to afford that and to kind of burn some money, buy some islands. I want to get that back down to where we actually need to make some money. So that right there is going to be where we're at here. I'll make us buku dinero. So it's good to have a little spreadsheet for that. And let's go ahead and start. So it'll be a lot of time lapse here because it's going to be a long way. So I want to get most of the journey going. Go ahead down here, and this could use an update. So as I use it in career, I can start to kind of figure what I need to do. All right. So let's go up and let's do it. Alright, the other thing that's nice too is I can kind of put money to the side for quite a while. you know, by getting that much. That really allows me to kind of do other stuff. You know, presently, if I'm always hurting for money, it's gonna be tough to get in and do what I want to do. And if I want to buy an island, I have to go back to some sort of money-making venture. This way, I can do it. Let me push my bow out with the bow thruster as well. I don't want to hit the bottom there and have a problem already. Okay, there's a harbor gen coming on. So I built a new harbor gen for the for Triton. That's going to be going in. You know, so this will be good to get some money going. So let's quickly look at our map here. We want to come up all the way down past this island to get to Krail Oil Works. I think we might be able to see it if I took up my binoculars. There it is right there. So get going on this. So we do a pretty good speed on this. We're doing 12 knots. I think we keep pretty close to that. You know, maybe we'll go down to say 10 with that 300,000 liters of oil on board. You know, so it's a considerable distance. You know, like here, let's figure this distance out really quickly. That's in nautical miles, which is what's good. Trying to see if I think right here is our fuel triangle, I think. On this, using this system, I have to actually zoom in. Yep, perfect. Look at I found it. So right there, that is 100 kilometers. Let me figure out what that is in nautical miles. If I could type, that would make it much quicker. Alright, so what is going on here? So that's 100, oh, it's doing nanometers. I don't care what a nanometer is, dude. Let's see. So it's about half, I think. So 53 nautical miles direct line distance. So this is going to be a long trip. You know, again, I'm going to cut it. You know, I'll do a little bit of time lapsing, but most of it's going to be cut. And so you'll just see it there. It's going to be one of those go-to-bed projects. Plus, I can actually save this and respawn it and leave it on autopilot. I could actually probably go do something else, too. Do I trust this? I don't know if there's a stay active block on this. That's part of the problem. There's a whale up here, I think. Yep. Looks like there's a whale right there. Yep, whale right in front of us. Hopefully I don't hit him. We will actively try to avoid the whale. Alright, it's pretty cool having a whale. And I don't know if I can get him in the pick. Not really, no. Alright, so the other option I had was to go from here and up there. This one's going to take a lot of time, but I need 500,000, had about 360,000. You know, so if I launch Triton, you know, I would need an extra, say, 200,000 just to operate, essentially, just to get it spawned in the world, and then hurting for money. You know, this way, this is going to give us a huge lump of cash, and then with that huge lump of cash, we can then, you know, we can then buy some islands that we've been wanting, and do some other stuff as well. Helicopter coming in. What I might do is do a save, spawn Katie did, see if I can get back to this ship to see if it's actually staying active. If it stays active, I can actually send this off on autopilot. It will automatically stop, and theoretically I could let this run and kind of RP that as, you know, somebody else is doing it. But we're coming up on it now. I like these low docks. I wish they would do more low docks. All the stuff by Sawyer Island is very tall. These low docks are a lot better to me. Alright, so we're coming up here on it now. Try to dock nicely. I'm going to start slowing us down here. This ship needs a lot of love. It needs some stuff to be redone. Its drive system needs to be reworked. All sorts of stuff. I just haven't really got to it yet. Alright, let's go ahead and zero. I'm just going to push the bow in with the bow thruster there. Alright, there it's pushing now. I'm just going to let it coast in, and then I'll grab a quick pick. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and start hooking up. Alright, so this will auto ballast and do all that good stuff. Let me actually shut down. Put on the anchor light. We're at, not necessarily, we're not really at anchor, we're at dock, but close enough. Let's see if I can jump up here without ending up in the drink. Alright, good. Start hooking. This is going to take some time. Defib. Alrighty. And hopefully I can jump with this. Yeah, no problem. So this is my utility thing that I built. So this could be grabbed by that. I don't need it on this one. It's low. I built this for the big oil platforms. Oh, there's paint issues there I need to fix. Did not notice that earlier. Okay, so we're pumping. This is going to take a long time to fill. We're putting in 300,000 liters. So that's going to be a lot. So it's going to take some time. I much prefer these lower docks. I wish they'd put in some more of these places. You know, one thing that would be nice is, you know, you have a lot of very active members of the community doing all sorts of, you know, land type stuff and bases, and it would be kind of nice if, you know, they don't necessarily need to run a competition, but if they had like a competition, or if they had something where they, you know, drew from the community and had some people make some more of these areas, you know, they could put some strict restrictions on, you know, making sure that it has, that it's not too laggy and everything else, and I think you could get some really good, you know, diverse bases and kind of, you know, sublet out some of the work to the community, which, you know, people enjoy doing that and makes the game better. I'm kind of stuck on this ledge here. Okay, where is the... I'm just trying to look for the tie down. I'm gonna end up in the drink, so I'm just gonna fly up. Again, you know, part of my RPing for actually doing that no clip is, you know, one is if I'm switching characters, and the other is, you know, if something like that happens where I fall off, where, you know, real life you wouldn't, you know, you'd have some dexterity in your body and you'd know how to control yourself. You know, you don't have to worry about that. So this is going to automatically ballast, so it will automatically pump the water out as the oil is going in. So I do not have to monitor this. This can. Where is the other tie down? See, this is a problem really. I don't have another tie down all that close. I should have a closer tie down. Oh, come on, man. Just as long as I can reach it, I'm happy. Just let me reach it. Okay, we're close enough to reach it. I can just have to be patient and try to grab it. Oh, come on. Come on, let me do it. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's done. And again, I'm going to do some flying business just to get in there. So you'll hear an engine run. That's the harbor generator going. It's pumping out. That's good. We're buying. We can check the station here. I need to actually allow it to pump in, so I'm going to do that now. Turning on my pumps. And I want to go in. This system could be updated. And we can look at the numbers here. As you can see, tank 2 is not working yet. Tank 4. Okay, there we go. That's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in, that's in. Okay, so these will fill up. And so the ballast tanks are automatically going to fill and empty. You know, even if it fills one side too much, the water is going to stay on the other side. So this will fill, and we'll kind of leave this to its own devices. I can't leave this while it's filling. If we get too far away, what ends up happening is it stops buying, and we don't want that. So you can see it's buying up oil. You know, this is nice cheap oil down here at you know, 25 plus cents. So we're just going to hang here. And what I will do is I'm RPing myself in the bed. And I don't know how long this is going to take. It's going to take a considerable amount of time. So what I'm probably going to do is, you know, I think what I'll do is a cut. This would probably be some cuts instead. You know, I kind of want to time lapse out the. I want to time lapse out the trip through the icebergs. I think that would be better. You don't need to see me filling this. So let's actually get out of the bed. I'm going to go up and stand on up in the bridge. I want to make sure that, you know, I can just come in and check on this and make sure my numbers are going up, so I can actually read from the bridge what my values are doing. So you can see, because the oil is so cheap up here, we can easily buy oil. You know, we had 80,000 left, and we can easily buy tons of oil. 300,000 liters of oil. I forget what the capacity of this is. I can actually, no, I can't check without going through each tank. As you can see, the water will automatically start to decrease based on the system, and so that will it will lose water as we gain oil, essentially. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll do a cut, and then I'll join you back when we're ready. I'll kind of time lapse it out through the icebergs, or at least part of the journey. And then I'll probably start a time lapse in, and then from there, you know, I'll hook up and I'll empty it, and then I'll kind of rejoin, and we'll see what the total is. So this is going to be a long one for me, be a reasonable one for you guys. All right, I think I'm going to go watch a show. But, you know, this is kind of, you know, this is kind of how I enjoy playing some of these games. I've always been drawn to these kind of industry sims, and so a lot of people are like, you know, how can you sit there for 5 hours and you know, do oil trade? I'm like, I don't, you know, like this, if this takes, you know, I should have put a liter per hour gauge on there, but you know, I don't have a totaler either. These are all things I need, but you know, if I were to let me do this. I'm gonna take off vehicle damage, NPC, and player damage. NPC can stay on, I don't care about them. But the whole reason for that is, if I were to glitch into the dock, if I were to, you know, if I save it and then I have to revert the save because of a crash or something, and then it glitches me into the dock, I'm hoping that I can, you know, not damage the ship and then have a catastrophe because of some artifact of the game. And so I'm doing that. You know, in real life, these fenders would actually do something to protect your ship. They don't in game. So by shutting off vehicle damage, that kind of saves that. And I just shut off player damage because I'm sitting here. If that happens, I don't want my character to be dead. I want to be able to, you know, survive and then try to fix the problem. So what I'm going to do here is I will go ahead and I'm going to save this as filling oil, and I will let this play, and this is going to fill up, and it's going to take a long time. Like, to put this into perspective, we're grabbing about 300,000 liters. We have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8, and that's about another 8. That's 16, and another, oh, let's say another 8. You know, so you're talking 24,000 liters. So we're about 10% of the way in. So that's actually probably not all that bad. You know, this video's been going on for 20 minutes, and you know, most of it was driving over here, so it won't take that long, you know, but it will, you know. And so what I like to do is I'll go and I'll watch a show, and I'll kind of let this run, and then I'll come back and check on it. And even if it sits here and it's been full for an hour and I was watching a show, well, it's not a big deal because I can then go and you know, just get underway. So what I'll do is I'll save the time lapses for actually when we're going through some beautiful Arctic scenery here. And we'll do that. I'm just going to grab another pick. It's nice to have these picks just to share with you guys and to share with you know, the community. I get inspired by other people's builds, and you know, I always enjoy seeing people's work. You know, so you know, I always like to share my stuff as well. So, all right, I will see you guys then. All right, welcome back, and we are full. So let's go ahead and let's look at how much oil we have in the T800. As you can see, we are a little bit below the water line, or the water line is a little bit below here. You can look at the, let's kind of zoom in here. We have our PIMS oil line, and we have our height, you know, how far our keel is above or below the water. So there's 5 meters of keel below the water here, and we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and let's look at our tanks here. So we have, you know, about 57,000 in those two tanks. We're talking another, we'll quickly do an ad here. I'm not gonna, it doesn't have to be perfect, but let's say, right there, let's 57. That we'll even these out. So that's 120. There's 226, and so somewhere in it, we're a little over 300,000 liters of oil is what it looks like right now. So let's go ahead and let's start unhooking here. So this should be a big payday for us. We'll go ahead and save. All right, and so this should be good to get out of here. I really like these lower docks. I was saying before, I think it would be great if we had more of these. Let's go ahead and start grabbing these hoses off. Actually, just go up here and just do them all here. They stow up here anyway, so let's drop this. And let's get out of here. All right. So it you know, it took a while to fill. It didn't take that much. You know, this isn't something I'm doing every you know, this is something you do months, you know, every couple months probably for money. You know, I enjoy it, but, you know, this is definitely not something I'm going to be doing constantly is filling, just doing these oil runs. This is a nice way to really get ahead on money and get us into Triton. And so there are some other things I'd like to do for some money, like take the train up with and sell some diesel at the Arctic. That was something I was all set. I was getting ready to do, but you know, it was just taking us a bunch of setup, and then that would make us good money, but it wouldn't make us enough money, so I'd have to, you know, do some more. And so I kind of decided, you know what, let's do something that makes a real big quantity of money right away. All right, so we are ready to motor. So this is a good autopilot ship, and this should be all set to run for quite a while here. So let's put this away. All right, so let's look right here. This is our fuel supply. So we have about 5,200, almost 5,000. Or I'm sorry, if I could read, that'd be great. 53,000 liters of diesel, approximately, a little bit less. And that's what we'll be starting with for our trip out. So let's go ahead and eventually I'll throw that defib in the water instead of carrying it around. But right now, I'm still going to hold on to it. So let's go ahead and let's get moving here. So I'm going to save one more time. Always good to do. Let's go ahead and start the mains up. The harbor generator has been running the entire time, keeping this battery topped up. It automatically does that, and that you know, that's a good way to get us. That's how, you know, we keep our power up. Let's go ahead and start moving. I'm just going to add a little bit of bow thruster just to try to help us around here. And we have, what's that up there? Is that a large ship? We have a large, looks like a tanker right there. All right, so let's get moving here. I want to get going on this. So it looks like our top speed is going to be about 8 knots, which is pretty good. Again, this ship is going to need some work at some point. You know, I want to update some things, but currently it's working well. As you see, it's sitting lower in the water. That's, you know, because we've taken on a ton of oil. We can also look over here at a water ballast. As you can see, all of our water tanks are empty. And so the system automatically emptied our water in order to try to keep us above, you know, the water line. But as you can see, we are below because it just, you know, we can't account for enough water to do that. So it is okay to go a little bit under. So as you can see, let's go let's figure out our routing here. So we're currently coming across here. I think what we'll do is this should fit under, no problem. I know should is a famous last word. I think instead I'm going to go to the north. So let's go ahead and let's start plugging in the autopilot here. So, especially with this being laden with oil, we should have no problem going under there. But I see one thing that is missing in the map is I can't see where the stanchions are. I can't see where the what I mean by the stanchions are the pilings that hold the bridges up, so I can't see that. So instead of me trying to worry about going, under there, I think I'm just going to go around. It's going to be inconsequential. It's going to be a pain if it doesn't work out. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to press R to return. They got rid of all the free-floating icebergs. We used to have those, and that was something that you'd have to worry about hitting. And so those are gone now, so you don't have to worry about hitting those. So I'm going to start plugging in some waypoints here. I'm going to start adding them in. So there's waypoint 1. We're going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot. As you can see, it's going to start to automatically work our rudder. I'm moving the rudder now, and it's doing nothing. And then we'll start working our way through here. So shouldn't be too bad to get through. So I'm going to go up here to the next waypoint. We'll add a second one. This is the other place we could have bought oil for, but it was a little bit more expensive. So, when you're dealing with these enormous quantities, 300-something thousand liters, it's always nice to, any money you can save is good. All right, so I'm going to plug myself in. I'm trying to get as few waypoints as possible here, but I don't want to press my luck on hitting something either. So, start working my way to the south here. And I'll check my routing once I get going to make sure I'm not going to hit anything. As you can see, this is close here, so let's kind of zoom in and check it. A little bit close for comfort on that one, but I think we'll be all right. Famous last words, I know. The Titanic would like a word. So I think right there, we'll work our way through here. So, I could put a keypad in and hook it up to the system, but I'd prefer doing it this way. I prefer actually picking my way through the map. This feels a little bit more realistic, more tactile. We have 5 waypoints in there so far, and we're working our way through the ice nicely. Once we get through the ice field, we should be all set. So we just picked up, if you look, we're now at 9 knots, so any speed we can get is good. And I kind of want to see where I need to kind of have some notion where we're going here. A little bit of picking and poking here, trying to find. Okay, so we're starting to come up here. It's going to be these upper islands here is where we're headed. And so it should be this island, right? Is this it here? Nope. So manually just kind of picking my way through. That's not it right there. I found it a little bit quicker last time, but again, we have a long way to go here, so it'll just take me a minute to get these all plugged in. Is that it? I don't think it is. Okay. Let's zoom out. It's tough to get perspective from this distance here. Alright, so it's right off of this island. That's the mainland there. We're going to come up off this. Let's just kind of check some reference points here. So, have the main island here. This is the large island there. If we go straight up from there and then to the left. So actually, let's look at this. So right here, this little island here, straight up is where we want to go. So we need to work our way through. So we're starting to get. I think we're up around here. Is where my last waypoint is. Yeah, I think I'm up here. So if we look, there's a 3-piece and a 2-piece. So let's kind of look on the map for that. So we'll go back up to where the last waypoint that I put was. You do this sort of thing, especially with flying, where you actually utilize the shape of the landmarks to tell you where you're going. So let's check our last waypoint here. And I probably overextended the waypoint. I probably don't need to go that far to the east. Let's actually drop one off. So we're at 4. So I deleted that last waypoint here. And I'm kind of work my way through the ice here and see where I need to be. Alright, so I'm going to try to find where my last waypoint is here. And and then I'll work from there. So here we have, what's that, like a 3-piece island and 1, 2, 3, 5-piece island. So let's look for that, and our waypoint's just to the north of that. Alright, so we're working our way through here. So I think we're probably right about here is the next waypoint, is up here. So I want to look down here. I want to see if I have these sets here. And so all right, so I'm actually going to go to right about here, I think. I can actually get pretty close to a lot of these icebergs. Alright, now I'm going to start doing a shot to the south here, seeing if I can't work my way around the ice. Alright, so now we're starting to get into where you can see the color change of these islands. I'm actually going to subtract a waypoint. I'm going to pull in right here. And I'll try to kind of find that island. I'll go through the whole course again, make sure I'm not interacting or hitting with anything. It's a little bit tedious, but you know, this is a good way to find them. So there's an island with a small island jutting off. As we start to get into our southern islands, thinking that's this right here. Should be a little island to the left. Let's check to the left, see if there's a little island, and we should be able to see the windmill is a good spot. There's a little island there. Do we have a windmill? Nope, there's still an iceberg, so that's close to an iceberg. I know this is not all that thrilling, but this is kind of... Okay, so that's this right here. So that's this island, so very clearly we can see that's this, and that's the iceberg. So we're right here. You know, it would be quicker if I put them in with the keypad, but I'm not concerned about that. That's not a big deal to me. So I need to come down. We'll do a straight shot to the south. We don't lose that much time, but we gain a lot in... you know, we gain a lot in making sure we don't hit something. So let's go to about probably right here, and then we'll cut across to go to there. That should work pretty well. So we'll come all the way down to here, just above our home island, and we'll cut across just above the diesel island. Actually, we'll come all the way almost to our home. We'll come right here and cut across. In the grand scheme of things, this is a tiny bit of the travel time, so I'm not really concerned about it. So let's go back up to where we were. I'm just going to remember what I was planning on doing here. Alright, so we're around here, I think. Okay, so yep, we're right there. Between those two, I'm going to double check my path direct south all the way to our home island. So I want to go down this south longitude lines here, and we'll find the home island, our home base here. You know, just keep coming down, and as you can see, we're right there, so we need to cut in just a hair. Let's look. You know, I know the definition's a little bit low on this, but that's kind of, I prefer this system. A little bit tedious, but it's not bad. And what is this? I think this is coming up on it. Maybe. And is that the refinery there? It is probably not. Okay. A little bit of me poking around trying to find it. What I'm actually going to do is get out of my seat, and I can see it better if I stand right in front of it. But we have a lot of time to kill as well, so. Do I need to be in my seat to operate this? No, I do not. Okay. Alright, so that's right there. I want to go straight down from there. And I think this is coming on our home island here. Let me check. I think this is our home island here, maybe. I know, famous last words. Alright. Alright, so it is straight up off this point here, so I think that was right. I think right there. Let me just find this refinery. Okay. Yeah, this is when that waypoint would help, but I'm just, you know, this is a rare thing we're gonna have to do is actually zoom in with this system. All right, so I want to come straight down. Let me see. All right, so we're moving here. Okay, right there. Let me follow this straight down. I'm going to consult the map one more time and then see the differences. The longitude lines change as I go up and down. So we have a 3-piece, and then we have the island there, which is probably this right here. So a 3-piece and that there. I want to go straight down. Straight down this, straight down from the 3-piece is our home. Is our home base. So that helps a little bit. All right. So right here is the 3-piece island. So I want to go down this line. I'm going to just follow this line. And should be able to find it. Okay, is this home base here? This could be home base here. And then is that the fuel island? Probably not. Let's check it. So I went straight down from here. That's a 2. I'm going to go straight down. I want to see what this one looks like. That has a hook on it. So we're looking for this hooked island. So this here, is that? I don't know. See if I can find some landmarks here. You know, this is probably very exciting. You know, there's a way to hook up to the system where I can switch this from M, which is map, to the keypad, which I might add at some point. You know, generally I don't have to do these long ones, and you know, these are very long legs. These are, you know, very long distances to worry about. So I'm going to go all the way down. Okay, so we're way over to the west here, too far west. So I'm going to try to find it, and then I'll lay a marker, and then I will backtrack and just make sure we're not hitting anything. I'll try that method a little bit, trying to find this island here. Yeah, worst case, I can always stop there and then draw a straight line. I just don't want to hit anything, so that's a big thing. So let's see exactly where that is. So that is going to be right here. Alright, so I actually want to come east a little bit. So let's change our plan and let's go east to about here. I'm worried about, you know, kind of dancing around through the ice. Let me actually cut some of this up. I know it's probably getting annoying, but you know, by setting this up correctly the first time, we should be saving ourselves a lot of time, resources, fuel, you know, and actually hopefully getting us there. So right there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the corner here. I'm going to put the waypoint here. Okay, so our new waypoint's here, so I'm cutting the corner. I'm going to start working my way down. Okay, make sure I'm not hitting anything. Okay, that's good. Let's just keep working our way down here. I'll do it this way. I'll manually walk it down. We'll add more waypoints this way, but probably gonna be better. So we're only at 5 waypoints. As we keep hitting them here, we're getting rid of them as well. So we have a little spot of green land next to an iceberg. So let's look for that. So I've cut in more down this way, and I'm looking for a little spot of green land next to an iceberg, right here. Okay, so we're next to this little spot of green land and an iceberg. Let's check where that is. Okay, so we're just to the north of that. See where it is on the map, we're referencing that. So we're up here's our waypoint. So let's go straight down from that. Straight down, straight down, straight down. Yep, okay. Let's go this side of that. And I can see little islands, and I'm just kind of following them here. And if I run out of waypoints, it's not the end of the world, because I can always stop the ship and grab it again. You know, we don't burn much fuel if we stop, so I'm not all that concerned about it. There is a limit on how many I can do here. I cannot recall what that limit is. I think it might be 9. Alright, where are we at here? We're close here with this one here. Alright, right here. That's the refinery island, so I'm going to delete this last one here. And there we go. Okay, so I think that's going to be it. If I go R, that will return me to where I am, and I can move us here. As you can see, we're losing a waypoint again. We're going to hit this waypoint. So we're going to go down this path here. I'm going to turn to the south, come across through this ice field here, down through here. I'm not seeing any problems. I'm not seeing any collisions here. We get a little closer than I'd probably like to this island, but you know, at this scale, that's probably a considerable distance away from me, actually. And then I'm not seeing any issues here. That one's clear. And then coming in here, so beautiful. And that gets us right where we need to go. So that's pretty good. That's going to get us right to the refinery island. As you can see, that has a nice distinct shape. That makes it a lot easier. As you see, if we zoom in, I can really see that. You can even see on the map it has where the writing is for the sell point. So that gets us there. So as you can see, we have a total of, you know, it'll show me direct line distance of 80-something kilometers. And we're going to zoom out as far as we can. And that's our path here. I'll just reset it here. All right, we'll zoom out a little bit here. That's probably pretty good there. So that is going to get us to where we're going here. So 6 waypoints. I don't know the distance. One thing I want to do before we go, you know, RP-wise, I could turn the radar on, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is go down, and I want to quickly check and estimate our fuel burn. This is equipment I should have, but I don't have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the, where are you at there, guy? Right here. This is my air manifold. That's my fuel. So I'm using 0.5 liters per second. So that's going to be 1 liter per second. So we're talking at least 80. We're talking at least 80 nautical miles. We're doing, let's say 8. That's going to be 10-hour travel time. So you know, this is going to be a me going to bed situation, which I will actually do another save. All right, hauling oil. And so this is going to be a me going to bed. So let's say it's 10 hours. Let's say we're burning 1 liter per second. So let's see, that's 10 hours times 60. That is 600 minutes times 60. That's 36,000 seconds. Ooh, this is not looking good. Actually, that's fine. So that's going to be 36,000 liters of, yeah, we're burning 1. So that's 36,000 liters of diesel we're going to burn. And we have 51. So we're good on fuel. I know I probably should have figured that out earlier, but I would have got us close, and then I would have filled it up with something else. But that's going to get us there. So again, this is the first time, literally the first time I've ever taken this tanker this far. So we're going to be heading all the way down. We'll kind of go quickly over the map with our path. Coming through here, down through the ice field, all the way down just to the west of this island. Straight down, nice clear path here, coming all the way down, and then we're going to intercept, and the ship will auto stop here. So I can go to bed. This will be fine. We have more than enough fuel by a considerable margin. You know, if we look, With 36,000 liters we're going to burn here, we have 52,000 on board. So we're talking 16,000 liters remaining. So that's actually a pretty safe margin that we don't have to worry about. And so this is getting us there. Electrical generation should be good. I'll check that. That's another thing to consider. I'm going to leave off vehicle damage, player damage, just in case, because again, I'm going to be AFK. As you can see, the generators are doing their work. You can see how we are, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decimal places away in the electrical charge, so we're maintaining the battery to that level, so we're good. Port engine temp is, this should not overheat. I'm going to actually turn off overheating. I will monitor that. Where is it? Engine overheating, we'll shut that off. And the reason I'm doing that is, again, this is a big thing that, you know, I definitely like engine overheating. I definitely like to have that as an element that I have to control, but I'm not going to put it in game. I'm not going to worry about it going from the Arctic. It's just too long of a distance. This will take too long if I have to redo this. So again, you should cater your gaming experience to what you want to do. And so for me, I really do not want to have to worry about you know, hitting an iceberg and losing all the work we've done. So I'll go ahead and we'll do a little time lapse here. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna keep it time lapsing for too long. I mainly want to get this out and going, and then you know, get this out of the ice field, and then you know there'll probably be a cut at some point, and you can kind of see it go. So kind of see where I want to sit on this ship. At some point, I want to work on deleting the smoke. It's not terrible, but I prefer not to have the smoke. Alright, so I will see you guys when we get closer to the Cell Island. This is going to be, you know, this is a once in a very long time that I'll have to do this sort of oil trading to get us, you know, the money we need. Home ship's going to be profitable. This is very profitable, but it's time consuming. And it's actually probably a lot less time consuming to do one big run than to do many, many small runs. And, you know, things like maneuvering the ship and all that takes time. Filling takes time. You know, if we have to fill this once, empty it once, and transit once to get huge, you know, amounts of money, that's great. And by doing those short routes, let's quickly, one more thing before I go. So if I bring up my trading spreadsheet that I made, this is one of the reasons I made it, is it's very quick for me to check this. So I should label these. I'll label them right now here. Let's move the whole set here. Alright, so this right here is, that is oil triangle. That's oil triangle. And then this one here is going to be, that's oil triangle. I didn't mean to do that. Let me see, right there is good. Alright, this one here is diesel triangle. And this one here is the one we're doing. This is Krail Oil Works. And so you can see the difference. You can see the difference here. If we look at our buy price here is from the oil triangle. We're buying at $1.34, and with our current capital that we had of 349. Actually, let's go to 80. So we had 80,000 is what we had in our bank account. So we buy it for $1.34. We sell it for $2.88. We only have 80 grand, so we can only buy 27,000 liters. Let's do Control-C, Control-V. This one's Control-C, Control-V there. And then, all right. Oh, why is it doing that? Liters bought. Okay, I screwed this up. So this here is, what is that? So this should be equals G6 E6. Nope. Okay, so this should be E6 divided by, where are we at here? The buy price. There. Oh, come on. Enter. All right, so that's better. Let's go. Need to change my sums here apparently. So that is G13 divided by C. Where is it? We at A13. Oh, come on, man. I'm not great at spreadsheets. Okay, and then this one I think should be right. So this one is... What did I just do, man? Let me make sure these are right. Nope, I screwed all this up. All right, anyways, let me do the last one that we're doing, and then I'll fix these really quick. Sorry, tired. So essentially what liters bought is going to be, what is that, I. So that's going to be this. Is that I22? I22 divided by, and then that's going to be, so liters bought is going to be divided by the buy price. Oh, come on. And no, that should be times profit. I'm all screwed up here. I'm not going to go into this, but anyways, long story short, it's probably very obvious, but I'm tired, so I'm kind of screwing it all up. But at the end of the day, what the whole story here is, the oil triangle we're buying for $1.34 because the price is so expensive. Let me actually get rid of this so we can keep moving. So the whole point that I'm trying to get to with that spreadsheet is the buy price is very high on those, and because the buy price is reasonably high, we can only take a smaller number of liters. And so because we only had $80,000 and we'd have to buy it at $1.31, we do a simple calculation of $80,000, divide that by 131. We could only buy, Jesus, I'm screwing up all my numbers here. Part of this terrible calculator I have, but so I could buy 61,000 liters. That's it, and I'm making about $1.31 profit. So I'm not making a ton of money because we're buying the oil for so cheap up here in the Arctic. It allows me to buy more oil, and the profit margin is higher. So not only can I put more oil on, but my profit margin is higher, and so it would take me more than the number of trips to get that amount of oil. It would take me, what are we talking? We're talking 4 or 5, 5.5 times the trips easily, to 5.5 times the quantity of oil. I'd have to buy 1.5 million liters or something of oil and move all that oil to be able to get the same profits, essentially, I think. So this is much more profitable, and it should be rare. So we'll go ahead and time lapse this out, and I will see you guys then. So went to bed, picked up the Damen Ta800. Yeah, I went to bed in real life, picked up the Damen Ta800. The autopilot automatically stopped there. It sat for about 7 hours. It had an hour left when I went to bed, and then sat there for 7 hours on the harbor generators producing electricity. That had no problems. That worked really well. And then, as you can see, I just brought it in here. I'm going to leave it on night just because we're sitting here, and I think the night's actually pretty nice for time-lapse, for an unload time-lapse. The nice thing about this oil trading as well, so I want to come down here. We started with about 52 something thousand liters. That 53 on the right shows what the total capacity is, but I don't think it ever fills that high. And we're down to 32, so it sounds like a lot, but we only used about 20,000 liters of fuel, and that sounds like, oh my god, that's a ton. We're going to make over 800,000 in profit on this run. 800,000 in profit, and we spent a grand total of 20 grand. You know, we had to buy the ship, but it's going back in, so it's essentially free. So the only real expense was the fuel. All right, so let me bring up my spreadsheet. So I fixed my spreadsheet. Again, I don't know what audio got captured yet. Let me grab the spreadsheet. Did I just close the spreadsheet? It's a reasonable chance. Nope, there it is. Okay, so let's bring up the spreadsheet. So if you saw earlier, I was I was having issues in my making my mind work with the math. I should make this just bigger, but I don't know if there's a zoom function. But anyways, let's go through this and. So I kind of fixed this. So this is oil trading, so it's pretty simple. So we have the oil triangle, and so if you don't remember what the oil triangle is, the oil triangle is from, this is our home base here. We can go from this oil platform up to the refinery, and then there's diesel up here. So it creates a triangle. That's why I call it the oil triangle. And then that's also, the diesel is part of that oil triangle. And so if I look... so let's go back to the spreadsheet here. And so we have oil triangle. So the buy price is $1.34. The sell price is $2.88. Our starting capital is how much money we have on us to spend on oil. And then liters afford is how many liters with this amount of money can I afford. So that's pretty simple. As you can see, it's you take your starting capital, you divide it by the buy price, and that gives you how many liters can I afford. Then liters bought. So, I might say I want to fill up the ship, but I also want to go do a katydid mission. I might, instead of putting in 60,000 liters here, I put in 20. So liters bought is how many liters I bought. So that's pretty simple. I put in liters bought, and then you're going to multiply liters bought by the sell price. That's what I'm going to spend, how much money I'm going to spend, and then profit is going to be you take the liters bought. Where are we? Liters, it's sell price minus buy price times how many liters you bought. And so one trip from the oil platform to the refinery is going to net 92,703 in profit. The diesel triangle. Now, diesel looks like it would be more profitable. It isn't, and that's why I often don't do diesel. The prices are very low, and the benefit of the prices being low is you can put a lot of oil in, a lot of liquid in there. As you can see, we can afford 224,000 liters, almost 225,000 liters of diesel. The issue is the profit. Profit's pretty simple. Sell price minus buy price gives you your profit margin. The profit margin is better on oil than it is on diesel. So even though you can put more in there, you make less profit, and you need to read putting more in there as sitting at the dock for more time. So it would take us a long time to fill. It would take us a much shorter time to fill there. Now let's look at Krail. The buy price of Krail is 25.7. It rounded it to 26. Sell price is 288. The profit margin is very high. I should put a profit margin. Let me put a profit margin in here. I want insert to. Where's insert column? Okay, I'll just cut it. Let me go like this. Insert column to the right. Okay, insert column to the right. Okay, and so let's go ahead and put profit margin here. All right. All right, and so this is pretty simple. This is don't know why I didn't hit enter there. All right, I'm screwing my formulas up again. As you can see, I don't do spreadsheets a lot. Okay, and then so this will be all right, and so if we look at our profit margins here, you can see the profit margin on this is $1.55. The profit margin on this is 31 cents, and the profit margin on this is 262. So we have much higher profit margin on this. And so if we look over here, because the price is so low, I can buy a huge amount of liters with my starting capital. With 80,000, I can buy 311. Because the profit margin is high, that makes the time it takes me to fill an empty worthwhile. And so I can make 815,000 profit on this run. And so that's really worth it to me to do that. That's makes the whole thing, it makes this actually much more time efficient than to do a bunch of shorter trips. And so I know probably boring a ton of people with this, but that's kind of why I chose to do this. Is I want to get Triton in game. I want to be able to do a bunch of those missions. There's still some bases I'd like to buy, and so all of this keeps it so that I can, it gives us enough money that we can go do some more things with it. Alright, welcome back, and we are finishing up here. As you can see, tank 1, 2, 3, 4, they just finished. So, let's see, what time did I... Oh, 2 hours probably, maybe, empty total, something like that. So, again, a lot of people think that's excessive. It's not a big deal to me. This is something, I'll do every month or a couple months, to get this money. So it's not something that bothers me. I know that that's a little excessive for some people. Let me turn the game sounds back on here. Let's play another game. So I had the game sounds off. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab everything up here and we can get rolling to home base. So home base is a short little trip. So quickly talk about it, I think what's coming up. So let's go ahead and jump on board here. This is nice, the height, so I can get on here easily. I still have damage off, player, and ship, and that again is for, as it bumps up against the dock, I don't want it to glitch in. Let's go ahead and let's sync the throttles and reverse out. Push the bow off a little bit. Grab the bow back in. Alright, we'll head back to home base. So, again, like I've said before, is creative, I think, is definitely where you learn a lot of what a vehicle needs, and this mission was no different. This really kind of showed me what we need in this vehicle, and, You know, so it's not lacking all that much. There's a couple things that I'd like to do to it, but it's really not, you know, bad by any stretch of the imagination. This was a pretty good mission. Let's look at our money. 916,000. So this made even more money than I thought it was going to make, and that's really, really good. That puts us in the territory where we have a ton of money where we can do whatever, kind of whatever I want. And the main reason for this, going ahead and doing this, was to get Triton in game. That's very important to me, so I wanted to get that in. So let's go ahead and set this. Let's add that waypoint. Yeah, I'll turn that on. Let's get going here. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to make you wait all the way to get back to home base here. That's going to take us a little less than an hour. So this is time consuming. You know, this whole trip, kind of recap, whole trip went from up by Tajin over to Krail, all the way down through the Arctic, and down to the refinery. And now we're, you know, we had to fill, we had to empty, and now we're heading back to home base to put the T800 back in the workbench. And so it definitely takes a lot of time. This is something, you know, that I think it was like probably 5-something hours travel time. But you can, you know, for me, I played some other games. I went to bed at one point, you know, and had a full night's sleep. And this sat for, you know, 8 hours or 7 hours just on harbor generator. We burned about 20,000 liters of fuel. And we came out of this with $916,000. And so that's going to allow me to launch the home ship, which we get back almost $300,000 for this. So we're talking about 1.2 million we're going to have in cash. And it sounds like a lot of money, but, and it is, but there are things that can and should be done. You know, buying islands, like that island's 220,000. Not that I necessarily want that one, but that's 220,000. You know, I definitely want Sawyer South. That's 50,000. So buying some islands is something I want to do. Getting the home ship in is a lot of money. You know, that's about 500,000 now, and it's just growing. So, you know, I ran into an issue where I was doing a bunch of work on Triton and just didn't have the financial resources in order to spawn it in a career game. So you'd end up seeing a lot of building videos, and you wouldn't see any actual career gameplay videos. And so now this allows me to have the capital to be able to go and do that. And so let's do a quick overview of what I want to do with this. You know, as I play career and as I kind of see what my different builds need, this one needs a couple things. This will need a new drive system. The drive system is kind of simplistic. I actually don't know how much I'm going to change with it. Currently what it does is the engines, where are they? The engines maintain a constant RPS, and then we just clutch the propellers. And this isn't a big deal, but I think I might change it to the more, you know, an idle rev system, where it idles and it revs up. You know, but again, this didn't cost us a lot. This cost us 20,000, let's say 30,000, worst case scenario, in fuel to make 900,000. So that's really inconsequential. So I don't really need any more efficiency. The harbor generator ran really well. We didn't have any sort of overheating issues at all. Let me check that. Battery's been doing great. As you see, these run at a nice low RPM, and so they don't, and it has really good cooling, so I don't ever have any issues with over temping on this. And so you know, it could use a couple things, but it's not really anything it definitely needs. And so I definitely want to get back into Triton, and Triton should be able to go on the water. And as I get it on the water, as I do some shorter missions, as I do some rescues off it, I'll start to figure out what I actually need on Triton to be able to make it function for me, and make it work. And so that, I think, is going to be a lot of fun. I really want to get Triton in game. So that's one of the main reasons I kind of took a lot of time to do this oil trading mission It really got me to where I needed to be to have everything that I wanted. And so I think I'll leave you guys there. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you enjoy my content and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.